Hey, hope you're doing well. Here we are, rocking and rolling right into week number 3, moving at lightning speed, and we've got more interesting stuff on our plate for this week. Last week, we started to explore the field called metaphysics. That's the branch of philosophy that looks at questions about the nature of reality. And specifically, we started to zero in on some ontological questions, questions about what actually exists in reality and how those things exist. And this week, we're going to continue on in this ontological pursuit. And we're going to put free will in our focus. We're going to ask the question and explore the question, does free will actually exist? Or is it an illusion? And how we answer that question is going to depend in some part, maybe in large part, on how we answered a question we confronted last week. And that is, what are you? Are you purely a material, physical being, kind of meat machine? Or is there some aspect of your identity that's non-physical, non-material? And what we're going to see is how we answer that question is going to have profound implications for a concept called moral responsibility, where we say that somebody has done something good or bad, or that a person is a good person or a bad person. Now, you'll see that this week's thought primaries are organized just like the thought primaries you've already completed, so I won't go over that. But I do want you to consider a couple of things this week. One is, there's a couple of questions that you're going to be responding to for me that I would really encourage you to run by your friends and family to get their thoughts on before you formulate the response you give to me. In thought primary number 5, that question has to do with what you are. You're going to watch a short video with the cash cab guy, and it just portrays these aliens who visited Earth and have drawn the conclusion that human beings are just meat, just meat. And so I want to know from you, well, how do you respond to that claim? Do you agree with it or do you disagree with it? Are we just meat or are we something else? So maybe run that question by friends and family. Similarly, in thought primary number 6, you'll see that the first question I'm asking you to respond to is this one. What does it mean to make a choice? Seems like a simple enough question, right? But maybe run that by friends and family and see what they think so that by the time you respond to me, you've got some ideas fleshed out. There's one other thing I want to just quickly point out here is you'll notice that in a lot of your thought primers, I'm asking you, tell me whether or not a given sentence is a true or false statement. And with these two thought primers, the statements I'm offering you are what are called if-then statements or conditional statements. So you can see here in thought primary number 5, the conditional statement is this. If the choices I make are the result of my brain activity, and my brain is a physical thing, and all physical activities are determined by physical laws, then my choices are determined by physical laws. And what I'm asking you when I ask you if that's a true or false statement is I'm asking you this. If the first part of the statement is true, right? If what follows the word if is true, will what follows the word then also have to be true? Right? So if-then statements are really tricky kinds of statements because they're not really saying that anything is the case. They're just saying that if one thing is the case, then another thing will be the case. So if I said to you, if you eat that, you will get sick. What I'm saying is not that you're going to get sick. I'm just saying if you eat that, then you will get sick. And you might ask me, well, why do you think that's the case? Why do you think it's the case that if I eat this, I will get sick? Okay? And so when you think about these if-then statements, you're having to contend with a claim that one thing being the case, what follows the word if, will by necessity make another thing the case, what follows the then. And you'll see that there's a similar kind of conditional statement here in thought primary number 6 somewhere. Where the heck is it? Oh, right here. Okay, question number 2. If in a given situation it's 100% impossible for me to do any action but the one particular action, and I do that action, then I'm not morally responsible for that action. Is that a true or a false statement? Okay, so again, you're looking at a statement that claims that one set of conditions being existent, or one statement being true, what follows if, will by necessity make what follows the word then also true. So think carefully about how you would defend your judgment about these if-then statements being true or false. All right, so keep up the good work. If anything comes up that I can help with, as always, just fire me off an email. Have a fantastic week.